One morning, humanity vanished without a trace. Cities fell silent, streets stood empty. No one remained. So, what does the world do now? 1 month later, the power grid collapsed, street lights went dark, subways flooded, traffic lights stopped blinking. Dogs and cats trapped in homes began dying of hunger and thirst. Some escaped. Joining the streets, fires broke out, refineries burned. Power plants lost control. Nature took its first step. Grass grew tall. Vines began climbing walls. For the first time in centuries, stars shone clearly over the cities at night. 6 months later, parks overflowed with wild weeds. Saplings sprouted in abandoned yards. Seeds carried by the wind took root in cracked asphalt. Mosquitoes swarmed, followed by frogs, wild boars, foxes. Jackals began roaming city centers. Birds nested in empty buildings. Bats filled the rooftops. 1 year later, nature was no longer competing. It was taking over. As fall cracked, green burst through the fractures. Migratory birds returned, no longer blinded by human lights. The city center echoed with silence. Only wind and birdsong remained. In the chaos of absence, a new balance was emerging. 5 years later, trees began growing inside homes. Vines blanketed four-story buildings. Dogs turned feral. Some merged with wolves. Frogs thrived in old pools. Foxes claimed the gouges. Some bridges collapsed. Steel rusted. Wood rotted. Every street began to look like a forest trail. 20 years later, the city had become a forest. Towering trees now rule the skyline. Even the rooftops of skyscrapers bore forests. Wolves, bears, eagles thrived in these concrete jungles. Even radioactive zones bloomed with life. 100 years later, the buildings had fallen. Concrete cracked, steel decayed. Roads were buried beneath the earth. Only buried remnants remained. The world began to forget us, but nature never stopped. Humanity disappeared, yet the planet kept living.